Everyone wishes for that day, digging in your garden and finding something more valuable than you could imagine. Well, what if I tell you that's not an insane wish? Because out there are some treasures that are waiting to be found. Let's tell you all about it. Schroeder treasure. When it comes to treasures, the first name that hits the brains of archaeologists is the Schroeder treasure. This extremely rich treasure worth $120 million is a 14th century hoard of gold and silver coins, precious stones, jewelry, and a gold crown. It was found by the workers in a hoard during demolition work in 1985, and it most likely belonged to Charles IV, the Holy Roman Emperor, and his wife Blanche of Valois. The rich Schroeder treasure was found in the town of Schroeder Śląska, Poland. And if we talk precisely about the elements involved in Schroeder treasure, then throughout the several excavations until 1988, construction workers discovered approximately 4,000 silver and florin gold coins, 3 rings, 2 good pendants, a clasp, and a magnificent crown. That's crazy, right? Unfortunately, some items got damaged during excavation, but still, it was one of the most amazing treasures ever found in history. 120 million is a huge number, isn't it? But now, let's take you to the next amazing discovery that won't be as worthy as the previous one, but it's still counted as one of the precious discoveries of history. Hoxne Hoard. This massive loot belongs to the 4th and 5th centuries AD, when Rome was finding it difficult to rule Britain. This was the period that marked the beginning of the invasion of Anglo-Saxon barbarians and the withdrawal of the Roman army. Due to these events, historians tend to believe that the Hoxne Hoard treasure was buried to safeguard the owner's wealth, as it could be of a wealthy Roman family residing in Britain at this disturbing period. The Hoxne Hoard has an interesting story behind it, just similar to that portrayed in movies and films, where the character keeps doing some kind of digging activity in a field and suddenly finds a clue with the help of which he gets a big treasure. In 1992, a metal detectorist, Eric Laws, discovered the hoard on a farm in Hoxne, Suffolk, while searching for a hammer. He came to see a bunch of spoons and coins, and right after that, he contacted the police and the Suffolk County Council for further investigation of the field. The concerned authorities soon arrived on the field and started the excavation work. And here comes the Hoxne treasure that blows everyone's mind. The extremely precious Hoxne treasure consisted of around 15,000 coins made of gold, silver, and bronze. It also included jewels, pepper pots, silver spoons, ladles, a vase, bowls, a beaker, and a unique body chain. It is believed that the coins belonged to the reigns of 4th century leaders such as Constantine II, Valentinian I, and Honorius. And the details appeared on a bracelet and spoons indicated their owner. For example, the bracelet bears a Latin inscription saying, "Use this happily, Lady Julianne." After a proper investigation of the treasure, the authorities paid the equivalent of 1.75 million pounds to the deserving people, which is worth $4.6 million today. I wish I could also find a treasure like theirs and would enjoy my life without any job-like tension. Don't you think the same? After 1992, a similar kind of case appeared again in Britain in 2009, and it also has the same kind of story, but has a twist in the money dividing part. Staffordshire Hoard. This one is the most popular treasure discovery in the history of Britain. This great discovery dates to the 7th century AD and is worth up to $4 million, which includes nicely preserved Anglo-Saxon riches, along with 4 kilos of gold. Isn't that crazy? Well, the Staffordshire Hoard has a very nice story behind it. It is said that authorities discovered the hoard in 2009 in Lichfield, Staffordshire. This became possible due to Terry Herbert, a hobbyist in a metal detection club, who came across gold artifacts in landowner Fred Johnson's field. To run further investigation on the field, they contacted the concerned authorities. As a result, English Heritage, in collaboration with Birmingham Archaeology, announced a full-scale excavation of the field after seeking Johnson's allowance. And the scene which maintains the picture post-excavation was fascinating. The archaeologists successfully found a couple of hundred gold objects, but it's a partial report. The surprising part of the treasure was revealed in 2012 and 2013, when more excavations were performed in that area. The hoard was deposited with a total of 4,600 gold, silver, and garnet-like precious items, in which 4 kilos of gold, 1.7 kilos of silver, and 3,500 garnet artifacts were present. That's mind-blowing. But don't get excited and start digging your field, because the chances of that happening are very low. Further discussions of the Staffordshire hoard state that it has militaristic traits, as it includes Christian objects like crosses, gold strips with inscriptions, gold sheets, a silver helmet, sword hilt fittings, sword pommel caps, and scabbard pendants. And surprisingly, there is no presence of women's things like jewels. Doesn't it sound like those treasures portrayed in cartoons and animations? Now, you must be thinking about the men who discovered the hoard. Under the Treasure Act of '96, the authorities paid out the equivalent of $4 million to both Terry Herbert and Fred Johnson. But here comes the interesting part. Since the money was to be divided between both parties, they accused each other of greed and divided their ways on bad terms. Well, it's expected, as money and wealth can even part ways with two best friends. All right, now we will discuss a quite fascinating treasure that has a separate place in the historical records. La Chatillon II hoard. The Chatillon II hoard will make you think of the second common storyline of treasure discovery that is portrayed in the films. The previous treasures were based on surprise discovery, but this one is going to be a planned treasure. The story follows a woman who told two metal detectorists named Richard Miles and Reg Mead that her father's farm contained buried ancient coins. Both professionals searched the farmer's field for almost the whole day, but didn't find a single clue about the hidden treasure. But they didn't give up their search at all. After a continuous operation of almost 30 years, they were successful in finding a massive hoard of 68,000 coins, jewelry, glass beads, and gold neck torches belonging to 50 BC. If we talk about the dimensions of the hoard, then it was 140 centimeters by 70 centimeters by 15 centimeters, found 1 meter below the surface. The concerned authorities, including Jersey Heritage, declared the Chatillon II hoard as the world's largest Celtic coin hoard. In the exchange of boards, the government paid $5.2 million for the hoard to deserving people. Now that's a good paycheck, but does that justify the 30 years of hard work? Panegyrishti treasure. This treasure belongs to the Thracian civilization and is also a kind of surprising discovery of 1949. The story follows the 3 Bulgarian brothers who were indulged in clay digging work in Panegyrishti. After digging for a certain period, they came across not one, but almost 9 24-carat golden vessels buried 2 meters below the Earth's surface. With that kind of purity, one can only imagine the worth of their massive find. And what they found was even more impressive, as it included a file, drinking horn, amphora written, decanter, and a whistle most likely used as tableware and for holy rituals. The 6.1 kilo of gold dates to the 3rd and 4th centuries BC and most likely belongs to the Thracian king, Soothers III. Overall, this was a great and priceless discovery, having immense potential for which the historians are still struggling in deciding its estimated revenue. That's quite fascinating to know. These were some of the cases that belonged to earthen treasures, but the last case that I'm going to discuss is related to the underwater world. Yes, you heard that right, a treasure underwater. And this may feel like a discovery from the plot of a movie, and for that, let me take you on an amazing journey where you'd expect to find the most amazing hidden treasures. You guessed it, Egypt. Underwater temple. This is a case from Egypt where underwater archaeologists were exploring a canal off the Mediterranean coast of Egypt. While carrying out their operations, they came across a partially collapsed underwater temple full of treasures that seemed to have broken during the mid-2nd century BC. When the archaeologists further explored the temples, they got to know that the temple was built for the ancient Egyptian god Amun, and it revealed a wealth of treasures and secrets, including silver ritual instruments, gold jewelry, and alabaster containers. Overall, it was a great and fascinating discovery underwater. wasn't it? With something from such historical heritage, it becomes hard to put a price at its worth. Hope you guys loved today's coverage. Don't forget to comment on your favourite part. I will see you again with another interesting topic. Till then, take care.